Morning dawns. The air is filled with worried chatter and the neighing of horses. Across the river there stand 6 Roman legions, some 30,000 men. It is at this site, on the humble Sucro River, that the fate of a bloody civil war would be decided. Would the great General Sertorius, the so-called Braveheart of Hispania, lead his rebel army to victory one more time? Or would this be the scene of his downfall? Quintus Sertorius was born in the small Sabine city of Nursia in 126 BC, a place whose people were granted full Roman citizenship. His father died early in his life, possibly before his birth, leaving his mother, Rhea, to raise him by herself. As her only son, Sertorius became the focus of Rhea's life, making his education a priority, and she had the resources to do so. He was educated as any wealthy young Roman would be, in the arts of oratory and law, supplemented by learning both Latin and Greek. To continue on this path of education, Sertorius relocated to the city of Rome in pursuit of clients and benefactors. It would not be long before he made a lasting impression to those who lived in the city. Yet, despite his education, it was not a positive one. Cicero later records Sertorius a special mention, stating that of all the total illiterate and crude orators, actually ranters, I ever knew, and I might as well add completely coarse and rustic, the roughest and readiest was Quintus Sertorius. Clearly, a path to power laid bare through oratory was not his destiny. Sertorius would soon yet find another calling, another path to power, in something that Rome could not escape: war. His first posting was as a staff officer under the consul Quintus Servilius Caepio in 105 BC. However, this was a short-lived position, as the consular army in which Sertorius served was obliterated at the Battle of Arausio. At the time of this battle, Rome's biggest, most fierce enemy were the Cimbri, a mix of Germanic and Celtic peoples. They dealt a devastating blow to the Romans, killing almost the entirety of the 120,000-man-strong army. Some sources even claim that only 10 Romans survived that day. It was the worst defeat they had faced in hundreds of years, or perhaps ever. Though out of this defeat came the birth of the legend of Sertorius. As it was told, Sertorius fought to the very end, and when his horse was slewn beneath him, he turned and swam across the river Rhone. Wearing all his armor whilst carrying all his weapons, and even with his shield upon his back, he swam across the 800-kilometer-wide river and returned to Rome. He did not simply flee from battle. Rather, he returned to Rome ready and equipped to fight again. This tale would earn him the attention of Gaius Marius, one of the most powerful men in Rome, who would bring Sertorius under his wing. Under his service, sometime between 104 to 102 BC, Marius would issue to him a daring command. Sertorius was to strip off his clothes and armor, roughen up his look, relinquish his weapons, and dressed like a Gaul. He learned a few simple words, then travelled as a spy to infiltrate the camp of the Cimbri. Plutarch tells us that after hearing or seeing what was of importance, he returned to Marius. Exact details are lost to time, but it is likely that he reported troop numbers, formations, and fighting styles of the Cimbri, giving Marius the edge he needed for the upcoming battles. In the following years, Sertorius fought under Marius at the Battle of Aquae Sextae in 102 BC, and the Battle of Vercellae in 101 BC. The Cimbri, along with some Germanic tribes, were decisively defeated in these battles. Unbeknownst to Sertorius, he would employ the same battle and espionage tactics later in his career, and they would act as a crucial part of his success. For now, though, Sertorius is scarcely seen in the records until 3 years later. It is likely that he continued to serve in the military and impress those who outranked him during this time. For this reason, he was granted a post as a military tribune under Titus Didius, the governor of Hispania, in 97 BC. The legend of Sertorius is still yet in its infancy. But join us next time as we witness his name and fame spread from Hispania to every corner of the Roman world. The simple soldier Sertorius, who existed on the fringes of Roman politics, will be killed. And the great General Sertorius, to whom thousands beckon, will be born.